Recently, I've been having a really hard time staying focused on the books that I'm reading and not getting distracted by TikTok and other social media platforms and just other things around me. So I thought I'd maybe try to motivate myself by seeing how much I can read in 24 hours. At first, I was going to do a 24-hour readathon and see how much I could read in 24 hours straight, but I'll be honest with you, I'm just not willing to give up a good night's sleep. Sleep is just way too important, and I think at the end of the day, it would have a lot more negative effect on my reading than it would positive. So I guess just to start, I'll show you the little TBR I've made for myself. I didn't put too many books in here because I don't want to disappoint myself if I don't actually end up reading as much as I think I can. And I also want to give myself a good variety because I'm a mood reader and I want to be able to pick up something that I'm in the mood for at a certain moment in time. So this is my little stack of books, and then I also have an audiobook that I just checked out from Libby that I'm going to be listening to as well. So when I don't have time to actually physically read, I can just pop my earbuds in and listen to that. And that is Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing by Matthew Perry. I know a lot of people are reading his autobiography right now, and I was really surprised. I just went on to Libby to see what was available right now and check something out, and that was the first thing on their list. I don't know if they got more copies of it recently or what, but I checked it out immediately and knew that was what I wanted to listen to at the moment. Then I have Murder on the Links by Agatha Christie. This is the second book in the Hercule Poirot series. Then I have a poetry collection called This Is for the Women Who Don't Give a Fuck by Jan Robinson. This one I'm really looking forward to, and I think it's going to be nice to kind of read a few poems in between books to kind of give my brain a little bit of a break. Then I have Frankenstein by Junji Ito. I wanted to put manga or a graphic novel into this TBR just to also kind of break it up a bit and give myself a little bit more variety. And then lastly is Layla by Colleen Hoover. This one's kind of giving me Verity vibes. I could be completely wrong, but if it's anything like Verity, it is going to be good. I really want to sink my teeth into something that I do not want to put down. Okay, so that's it for my TBR at the moment. If I finish those, I'll pick up something else, but I don't know. I didn't want to put too much on because I didn't want to disappoint myself. So first, I'm going to start off by popping in my earbuds and listening to my audiobook because I have a big mess of books all over my office floor from my 2023 reading wrap-up that I haven't cleaned up yet. So I'm going to listen to the audiobook while I pick some of them up, and then I'll talk to you guys after that and see where I'm at. So I am officially 1 hour in, and I am now 15% through Matthew Perry's autobiography. I got this room cleaned up, and then I also cleaned the rest of my house a little bit. I should probably do a bit more, so I'm gonna pick this up later again and do a little bit more cleaning. But right now, I feel like starting Murder on the Links. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna sit here hopefully for about an hour or two and start this one, and I'll update you guys a little later. So I've just paused the timer at 3 hours and 54 minutes. So I've almost read for 4 hours. I did have to kind of pause it a few times to like eat supper and like just do a few things that I couldn't do even with my earbuds in. In that 3 hours and 54 minutes, I am now 26% of the way through Matthew Perry's autobiography. I have also read 128 pages of Murder on the Links. I definitely want to get a few more hours in tonight, and then hopefully tomorrow I can do quite a few as well. And the next day I actually have plans because it's my boyfriend's birthday, so I don't think I'm going to be doing a lot of reading that day. Then the day after that, hopefully I can finish the 24 hours. Who knows? It might have to go a fourth day. It doesn't matter how many days it takes, only that I get to the 24-hour mark and then kind of see just how much I can actually read when I focus on it. Anyways, though, I'm going to get back to reading Murder on the Links and hopefully finish it. So I just got over the 6 hour mark and I actually just finished Murder on the Links. This was the perfect book to start with because I did not want to put it down, not even once. So that's one book down for my reading for 24 hours, and it is currently 1:46 a.m. So I'm probably not going to do too much more reading tonight. I think I might end up reading a few passages from This Is for the Women Who Don't Give a Fuck, and then I might listen to a bit more of Matthew Perry's autobiography, but probably go to sleep soon because I'm really tired. All of that reading honestly made me so tired. I do not know how people do 24 hours straight. I could never. So yeah, I will hopefully do a little bit more reading tonight, and then I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I'm now 7 hours and 22 minutes in, and last night I read a bit more of Matthew Perry's autobiography before I went to bed while I was just doing a puzzle. So now I'm about 50% of the way through that one. And then I also just read the first few poems in This Is for the Women Who Don't Give a Fuck. I'm really looking forward to reading some more throughout the day, but right now I feel like I'm in the mood to start Frankenstein by Junji Ito. I'm gonna crack this one open right now, and I will talk to you guys later. So I just hit 10 hours and 2 minutes. I actually just also finished that is upside down. I actually also just finished Frankenstein by Junji Ito. This was a very good horror manga. Someone tell me why I thought it was a good idea to read a horror manga while I'm home alone. I don't know what I was thinking. Some of the stories are about a kid who is home alone and has freaky things happening to him, so that was probably not the greatest idea on my part. So I am a little freaked out. I'm not gonna lie to you here. So I think I'm going to hold off picking up Layla until my boyfriend gets home because I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like a freaky thriller, and I'm a little bit nervous to read a second scary book by myself because I'm already on edge. So I think for the next little bit, I'm going to read more of my poetry collection here. I'm already 94 pages in, and that's about halfway, so I'm going to continue that. And then if I finish it, I'm going to take a little break from reading until my boyfriend gets home just because I am super on edge right now. But I will talk to you guys later, eventually, I don't know. So I'm now almost 14 hours in, and I just finished the audiobook Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing by Matthew Perry while I was just folding some laundry and like doing a little bit of cleaning around my house. And then I also just finished This Is for the Women Who Don't Give a Fuck. And now I'm shocked kind of at where I'm at. I still have like 10 more hours or just over 10 more hours. And I have read more than I thought that I was going to be able to. I'm gonna start Layla by Colleen Hoover right now, and then I also just borrowed another audiobook from Libby, which is Dear Girls by Ali Wong. I really love Ali Wong's stand-up comedy specials on Netflix. I think she is hilarious, but it's only a 6-hour audiobook on normal speed, so I might end up also picking up something else. We'll see. I'm gonna start Layla right now, and then I'll talk to you guys in a bit when I'm closer to 24 hours, I guess. So I'm now at 21 hours and 35 minutes. I just finished Layla by Colleen Hoover. I also am going to say I am really glad I waited to read this until I wasn't home alone, because it gives you a little bit of goosebumps here and there. I'll just say that. Very glad I made that decision. And then I'm also 75% of the way through Dear Girls. So I think right now, since I only have about 2.5 hours to go, I'm gonna probably work on a puzzle and just finish out Dear Girls. Then I'll kind of see how much time I have left and see if there is any time. And if there is, I'll start something new. And if there isn't, I'll wrap it up. I will talk to you guys then. I now only have an hour and 15 minutes to go, and I just finished Dear Girls by Ali Wong, and so I kind of wasn't sure what I wanted to get into for the next hour and a bit, but I'm not feeling the greatest, so I'm gonna take a bath. And I thought, you know, I could read on my Kobo while I take a bath at least, because I find that's a lot easier to hold in the tub than like a physical book. And actually, I had an ebook on hold with my library on Libby, and it just became available, and that is The Pisces by Melissa Broder. I've heard this one is super weird, kind of the same kind of weirdness as like Bunny by Mona Awad, where you're kind of reading it going, what the heck is going on? That's what I've heard anyways. I don't actually know. I know nothing about this book really going into it, only that it's weird. I'm gonna spend the next hour and a bit doing that, and hopefully a bath kind of makes me feel a little bit better, and I will talk to you guys when we get to the 24-hour mark. I have officially made it to the 24-hour mark. So that was 24 hours of reading. It took me 4 days to do that, so it's definitely not something that I could do normally. I actually just had a week off of work, so I thought this would definitely motivate me to read a little bit more, and it for sure did. That took 4 days, so about 6 hours of reading per day, and in that time I read 6 books and 23% of The Pisces, so basically 6 books in a quarter. So I read Murder on the Links by Agatha Christie. I read Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing by Matthew Perry. I read Frankenstein by Junji Ito. I read This Is for the Women Who Don't Give a Fuck by Jan Robinson. I read Layla by Colleen Hoover. I read Dear Girls by Ali Wong. And then I read 23% of The Pisces by Melissa Broder. I've got to say I read more than I expected to, and I definitely think I read more doing this than just doing like a 24-hour readathon and trying to read for 24 hours straight. Like I said before, I just do not think that would have positively impacted my reading whatsoever, or positively impacted my life for that matter. So I'm really glad I went this route, and it's definitely something I feel like I want to do again. It's definitely not something I would do all the time just because I normally work full time, but I can see myself doing it again in the future for sure. I'm really happy with the outcome, and I'm still shocked. I cannot believe I actually read that much in 4 days. That is insane to me. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if you have read any of these books and what your thoughts and opinions were on them. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and happy reading.